So one of my biggest criticisms going into the Operation Solar Raid Battle Pass was the fact that they removed every single aspect of lore background in the Battle Pass. Yes, there is lore items that were in the Battle Pass, but they removed the descriptions which used to give us a meaning behind the items and an insight into the operators they were for. Well, it seems like Ubisoft have actually listened to my criticism and they've actually updated the Battle Pass to include the lore information now. Now this is only for the Ghosteyes cosmetics, that makes sense, they are the only lore related cosmetics in the Battle Pass, but now we at least get a little bit of an insight into the operators who are in Ghosteyes, and we get interesting little bits of lore. So the first one here is for Caveira's uniform, and it actually has a little bit of text which is actually by Nokk talking about Cav, and it says, "What makes Caveira a good leader for Ghosteyes? She is the scariest thing our enemies could imagine under their beds." And I imagine that is quite the compliment coming from someone as scary as Nokk. Of course, Caveira is the leader of Ghosteyes, and Nokk definitely does look up to her, so it's just really cool to see that someone as scary as Nokk looks up to Cav and sees her as terrifying. The next one is a little bit by Solis, and it says the following: "It's ironic to symbolize myself after light and then join a squad that operates in the dark. Their secrets will be safe with me." Of course, Solis's name, her icon and everything is about the sun, and she works in Ghosteyes, who operates in the dark as a secret squad. But yeah, she is highlighting the difference in the symbolism of her name and then how she operates in the squad. And that's actually really cool. I didn't even think about that till now, so yeah, Ubisoft clearly done that on purpose. I genuinely didn't even think about that. Next one is another quote by Solis, and it says the following: "I envy Caveira's ability to see things so clearly, to act on instinct. Maybe that's why I'm here, to balance things out and keep our team safe." So yeah, we get a little bit of insight into how Solis actually feels on the squad. She does actually envy how Cav acts and probably wishes that she could act like that as well, but then she realizes maybe that's why I'm here, to not always act on instinct like Cav does, because that may not be the right call all of the time. Next, we actually have a bit by Caveira herself, and it says the following: "I place my specialists where their skills will have the most impact. Sometimes that means I have to be the one holding the knife." Now, of course, Caveira has evolved into a leadership role, being the head of Ghosteyes. It's just really interesting to see her say, "I place my specialists," and by specialists, she means the operators who are a part of Ghosteyes. Caveira is the one calling the shots for Maverick, Flores, Mozzie, all these operators under Ghosteyes, even Sam Fisher. But I do believe that Sam Fisher does trust Cav because he was involved in helping Harry pick out the squads. And who knows, maybe Sam actually opted to work underneath Caveira because he's seen the potential. And now talking of Sam Fisher, this next one is actually by him, and he's talking about Solis. "Solis is dedicated and uncompromising. She'll go far if she can work through the nerves, even if she rubs people the wrong way." I always absolutely love hearing Sam Fisher's take on all the operators. If you guys actually saw my video the other day talking about why Sam Fisher is actually in Team Rainbow, then you may have heard all the interviews he actually done with operators such as Flores, Osa when she was actually still in Team Rainbow, Thorn, Thunderbird, even Vigil, and it's always interesting to hear his opinion, and now we actually finally get to hear what Sam Fisher actually thinks of Solis, who is also on the Ghosteyes squad with him. Next up, we actually have one from Caveira talking about Lesion, and it says, "You can't be a covert unit if you're not prepared for toxins and explosives. Lesion covers those bases, and he does it with a smile." Legion's personally one of my favorite operators. He was the first operator I actually got when I started the game back in Blood Orchid, which was the season he launched, so he does kind of have a special place in my heart when it comes to operators in this game, and I'm glad to hear that his expertise in CBRN threats is still being utilized in the Ghosteyes squad, and that he is doing it happily with a smile. And on the topic of Lesion, here is one by him, and he says, "I'm no spy, but I know a few of them, and I've been training. I would say we will show everyone, but the point is not to be seen." And when he says he's been training with spies, I assume he's referring to, like Maverick, Nokk, Sam Fisher, Flores, all these operators who are part of Ghosteyes, and it's just really cool to see that Lesion has actually been learning from them as well. Next up, we have one by Mozzie, which is fittingly on the drone skin. I actually love this description. He says, "Drones, gotta love them. I should start a collection, starting with this one. Hopefully Caveira won't mind me hogging a display shelf." So it's just really cool to see that Mozzie does actually really enjoy drones. He actually likes this new Ghosteyes drone. It's very fitting as well because we did just get drone customization in this season as well, and this is one of the first drone skins we have got. I guess this also kind of tells us as well that each of these squads do have their own base of operations, whether that still is in like Rainbow's main base of operations and they will have different, sections, but the fact that they all have enough space that they actually have display shelves, then it kind of tells me that, maybe they have their own sections. Next up, we have Flores talking about Solis. If you guys don't actually know in the lore, Flores and Solis built Solis's gadget, which is actually made from a prototype that Mirror was working for an upgrade for IQ, but IQ left Team Rainbow to join Nighthaven, so it went to waste, so Flores and Solis built it up into a new gadget. And he says, "Solis and I are more similar than she thinks. Her biggest achievement wasn't sanctioned, she knows how to bend the rules." I really like the relationship that Solis and Flores have, and I'm really interested to see how their relationship continues to develop whilst in Ghosteyes. Now, as far as I'm aware, the final one we have here is actually this charm. Now, when the Battle Pass actually came out, I had no idea what this charm actually was meant to to be, but now Flores is actually telling us what it is, and he says the following: "It's confusing and vaguely threatening. Throw it at someone, and you're out of the door before they even remember the meaning of placebo." So based on what Flores has told us here, this little contraption does absolutely nothing, referring to it as a placebo, which actually means it does nothing and it's all psychological. So if you're going against an enemy and you throw this at them, they'll be like, what is this? What does this do? Is this going to hurt me? Is this a tracker? Does this have information on it? When in reality, it does nothing. They're not going to know that, and their brain is going to be trying to think, what is this thing actually doing? And it seems to be just a little getaway device, as you're meant to throw it and try and get away as quickly as possible whilst they're trying to still figure out what this thing does, which I can honestly imagine is quite effective, because if someone threw this thing at me and I had no idea what it done, I would be terrified. And so guys, those are the updated Battle Pass descriptions for all of the Ghosteyes items, which previously didn't have any description from them. I'm really glad that Ubisoft actually listened to the criticism and fixed this, whether it was a bug or they just never had it to begin with. Hopefully going into next season, these will be here at the start and we can make a video about that. So guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about these brand new pieces of lore we know about the Ghosteyes Squad. It's really interesting to see the interaction between the operators, which we haven't really seen before in the past, and I can't wait to learn more, hopefully in the mid-season comic. Sure, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike if you did not. I shall catch you guys all later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.